All right, guys, so today we're going to be working on changing out this old mortise lock here. I don't see a lot of these anymore, but they do still happen every once in a while. There are quite a few older homes in my area, and definitely if you have a lot of older homes, you're going to see more of these, but a lot of times people are just replacing the doors. In this case here, we're just going to be replacing the old mortise. Not really that much more difficult than a cylinder lock, but there are a few things that you really should know. It's going to make the installation a little bit easier. One of the big things right here is that it binds very easily. Unfortunately, somebody did try to change out this handle, and I'm not big on that because the handle doesn't always fit right, and it causes it to bind, and then it doesn't actually release the latch properly. So, but either way, let's get to it, and I'll show you how to do it properly. All right, so the first thing we want to do here is just get the handles off, and you'll see there's a set screw here. All you gotta do is take this off, and then you will unscrew the handle. Now you'll see here's the back side, and you see there's also a set screw there. So let's go ahead and get those out, and we'll get the handle off. Now you don't usually need to pull them all the way out. You can just pull them most of the way out, and then we'll unscrew the handle. And this side actually has the handle on, so a little bit easier to work with. So just hold on to one side and unscrew it. And you'll see here, even that doesn't come out properly. But you see, we were able to easily pull it out. So once you get one side off, again, you have a bunch of threads here, so you do have to unscrew that once you get one side off. And you can really just remove one set screw and then unscrew it and pull it out. Now we want to remove our faceplate here, and lots of paint. Usually that just takes a flathead screw. Now we can remove the actual mortise here. Some people like to paint these. I don't know why. Got that out. Now, this thing will come out. But what easiest thing to do, put your screwdriver in here, pry it out. Maybe it won't come out. Of course it won't come out. Or take the old handle. Screw it back on. We got a little bit of movement, not as far as we're going to get. That right there. As you can see, it was painted in there pretty good. There you go. Now it's out. Occasionally run into where this holds a little bit too tight for the next one. So what we can do, so what I'll usually do, take my file here, figure out where I want it to be, and file down a little bit here. Just make sure I can get that in there. Now, here's the new mortise. And what I do is I'll just put it in there, make sure it fits. Now, it's not, but what you can do, just make sure your keyholes line up. Now, I know this is going to sink back in a little bit, but there's not a ton of room there. Those holes line up here, and I got plenty of space. So I'm going to file those back a little bit, even though I know that mortise will come back a little bit. Now, the other thing to notice here, when you put this in, the latch is facing the wrong way. So this is a left-hand close, and this is set up for right. So I need to switch this around. Again, these are universal. It's just a matter of knowing how to do it. So all we need to do here is just take our screwdriver, remove this screw. Now, this can be a little bit tough to get off. Now, this one came off really easily, surprisingly. The last one I did not come off easily. What we need to do, push this back, and watch out, that will go flying. And we're going to flip this over like that. Find the spring, grab our spring, and just put it back in here. And then we'll put the top back on. And you'll see it is spring loaded still. Now we can take that, put it in there here. Then when you check it out and line them up, see if they still work. I do need to come up a little bit more. And as you can see in here, all really need is clearance. So there's clearance. It's not lined up perfectly. There's clearance on both of these for the key and the knob. So we should be good. Now we want to get ready to install our door handles, install the knob. So what we need to do is back the set screws out, and then you're going to take this guy here. And this thing does screw on. Just set it right there. Screw it down about as far as it'll go, like that. Before I actually attach this, I'm going to go ahead and feed this through here, and I'm going to install the knob. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide this faceplate over, and then I'm going to go ahead and tighten the knob down. Now, like I said, the main reason I leave these loose is because if you tighten these down and then put the knob on and it doesn't line up properly, it's very easy for this to bind and it won't release properly. So, again, put this on first, but don't get it super tight. We still want to make sure that it releases like that. And just check your sides, make sure it looks good. Tighten it down to the point where, see, if you get too tight, it won't release properly. So loosen it up. Doesn't bind up on you. Now you can go to the sides. Now just make sure your keyhole lines up too. Now you can level that if you want. Same thing on this side. I'm going to loosen it up a little bit. Now it releases freely, and I'll go tighten the other side. So it's going to move a little bit, but that's okay. It's good. All right, so the last thing we want to do, get our latch plate installed. Now, the one thing that's different again about these and what I like to do is that I want to close this and then I want to lock it. And I know that can be kind of tough to see. I need to measure where that lock comes out so you can kind of see it there. And I put a little mark at the bottom of that. The reason I want to do that is so that when I put this in, I have an idea of where this needs to go. I want to make sure that lock will slide through there. And if the lock works, the top will work as well. So that's what I like to do. But now we'll go ahead and get this, pull that back, open it up, and remove the old hardware. What I want to do is kind of line this up here with that bottom. Go a little bit lower than it usually. You're going to be fine. Just, I had to build another one up a little bit. You can